Hi, I'm Brittany.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Welcome to the orientation and informational session for the Ithaca College Women's Rugby Club team. Today we are going to review the rules of the game and go over some of the skills that are necessary for playing the sport. First, I will start by reviewing the positions on the rugby pitch and the skills you will need to accomplish those positions. And for those of you that don't know, the field is called the rugby pitch. During the 80-minute long game, the pitch is separated by two different positions, the backs and the forwards. There are different positions within these two groups. I will start with the forwards, better known as the pack. The pack is mainly set up with the stronger girls that will be able to ruck and scrum. I will be reviewing rucking and scrumming later on. The pack is assembled with 8 different positions. These positions are the front row with numbers 1 and 3 being the props and number 2 being the hooker. Next is the second row with numbers 4 and 5 being locks. And lastly is the back row with numbers 6 and 7 as flankers and number 8 being the 8-man. The pack will be heavily involved in scrumming. A scrum will occur when there is an accidental infringement or the ball goes out of play. So you can get a better idea of what each position's role in a scrum will be, I will show you a short video.
The hooker and 2 props bind together, arms linked like this. This is called the front row. Following that, the 2 locks bind, get down on one knee and put their heads between the prop and the hooker, resting their shoulders underneath the buttocks. This is known as the second row. Behind them is the number 8 and the 2 flankers hang off the sides. Teams then interlock so that no 2 teammates' heads are next to each other. This is where the push is gentle, the scrum is held steady. Ball in. The scrum half for the team that was awarded the scrum feeds the ball into the tunnel, dead straight so neither team has an unfair advantage.
When the ball goes out of bounds, there can also be something called a line-out. This will also be the job of the forwards. A line-out is when the hooker of the team that did not go out of bounds has the opportunity to throw the ball in order to give their team an advantage. Both teams will be holding one of their players, normally one of the backs, into the air to receive the ball, to then knock it down or throw it to the scrum half, which will then present it to the backs. To give you a better idea of what this looks like, I'll show you another quick video.
Lineouts are an integral part of rugby. Matches have been won and lost on so much as a sloppy lineout, so it's important to know what needs to be done and the best way to go about doing it. When the ball's gone out of play, the lineout is basically the way of getting it back in. Normally the hooker's the guy that throws the ball in. There's a skill to this. It needs to be dead straight or it's not fair. All being well, the ball should sail directly between the 2 lines of teams towards the intended player. Here's where the jumping begins. Your team should know where the ball's going, and the player who's intended to catch it will leap high into the air. Once the jumper has left the ground, it's perfectly valid for him to be supported by other players. He'll either catch the ball and twist to pass it down to the scrum half, or he'll simply knock it down.
Those are the basic things you should know about the pack. And now we will move on to the backs. The backs will consist of the smaller, faster players, and they will mainly be the ones scoring the tries. The back will consist of 7 players, numbers 9 through 15. Numbers 9 and 10 will be the scrum half and the fly half. Their job will be to get the ball out from rucks and scrums in order for the backs to have the chance to get the ball. Numbers 12 and 13 will be the inside and outside centers, and their job will be to get the ball out to the wing. Numbers 11 and 14 will be either left side or right side wings, and their job is to run the ball into the try zone, touch the ball down, and score the 5 points for the try. The last player on the team is number 15, and they will be the fullback. She will be doing the kicking for the team. Throughout the game, she will position herself on the back of the pitch in order to protect the other team from scoring and catching any of the balls the other team may kick. It will also be her job to score any extra points by kicking the ball through the try zone after a try is scored. The backs will be heavily involved in passing. And now I have a quick video to show you a little bit what the backs are about.
The backs are the rear 7 players, essentially the players that don't take part directly in the scrum. They tend to be more athletic than the bulky forwards and run to evade rather than confront.
those are all the positions that you'll need to be familiar with in the game. Now let's go over some of the basic information you'll need to know to play the game. The games are 80 minutes long and do not have any timeouts. There will be a break within the 40-minute halves, and you can only pass the ball backwards. If you drop the ball forwards, it is considered a knock-on, and the other team will then gain possession of the ball. You also cannot high tackle. If you do, you will be called on it, and the other team will again gain possession of the ball. You also cannot be offsides, which means you cannot be behind the other person on the opposite team that has possession of the ball. If you are offsides, you must raise your arms in the air to let the ref know that you are trying to get back onto your own side. Now I will show you another short video just going over some of the basic information you need to know.
The basics. When the final whistle blows, the team with the most points wins. There's 15 players per team. The main way to score points is by putting the ball down there at the try line. That's a try, and it earns you 5 points. You've got the opportunity to convert it. That means plonking it down on the ground level with where the try was scored and kicking it over the H between the posts. That's another 2 points. In rugby, you're only allowed to pass it to someone level with you or behind you, never forwards. Anywhere above the shoulders is dangerous and is called a high tackle. Other than that, you're an open target. When you're down on the ground after being boshed by some huge opposing player, you need to let go of the ball, otherwise it's a foul. Rucks. Essentially, they're just disorganised scrums that happen when someone has been tackled and the ball is loose on the ground.
This is mainly what you will need to know in order to have a better understanding of the game. If you know this information, you will do much better in the games. Now you're ready to get out on the pitch and start practicing.